How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Yeah. We're here. Welcome, welcome, welcome to day 3 of Purpose Driven Profits, the final day. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? So, as I said earlier, we have spoken through the mindset, what you need. The absolute critical thing is decision. Have you decided that you're actually going to win at this thing? If you have, then it's a done deal. It doesn't matter how long it takes. It doesn't matter whatever. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. It's a done deal. Yesterday, we talked about the different business models, different ways you can create a freedom business model, because we're all about freedom, living a free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life. I am Rosemary Knight, by the way, and I support people to thrive, to prosper, to make at least 6 figures whilst living in their purpose. One of the ways I do it is through business, because yes, getting to 6 figures, doing what you want to do, usually it's in a business. Okay, usually it's in a business. Not necessarily, because sometimes you can actually find a job that you actually enjoy. Great, if that's your thing. However, I generally tend to work with people who want to be in business. But this whole deliberate millionaire path, it starts with evolution, where you learn and remember that you have the power to create wealth. You deepen your connection to the divine. You're hearing from the divine every single day. You're taking part in the reprogramming affirmations within the Deliberate Millionaire gathering. Okay, so that is building that foundation within you. So usually a lot of people come into my world and you're tired, you're stressed out, you've been trying to build the life that you want, or you've been giving to every single other person and giving them the life that they want, and somehow ignoring yourself. So you come to evolution, you realize just how loved you are, you start to rebuild your foundation so that you can manifest the money that you desire, that is needed to live in your purpose. Okay, and then there's opulence, where you start expanding your mindset. You start realizing that there's different ways to think that are more empowering than the one that you're currently stuck in. You go through a series of boot camps over a year-long period, and you open up. Okay, you open up, and that way, when you come into affluence. Now, some people go directly to affluence. So I'm not saying you have to do it in this order, but I'm explaining to you why these things exist within the Deliberate Millionaire pathway. So by the time you come into affluence, if you've gone through evolution and gone through what's it called, opulence, by the time you come into affluence, you are coming from a very solid foundation. So then it's so much easier to apply strategy, because you're not being caught up in all the fears and the doubts and the craziness. And you just apply the strategy and move forward. Now, even if when you come to work with me in affluence, I've even saying this to clients just now, that I'm not about, I wrote out, I think it was an email yesterday or today, I'm not about rush. Let's make 3 million in 3 seconds. It kind of used to be like that, but it doesn't work. It doesn't work for anybody. What works is in some ways slow and steady, because actually slow and steady gets you there faster than, it's like the hare and the tortoise. It's the hare and tortoise, the whole story, the fable of the hare and the tortoise. Somebody rush, and then you tire yourself out, you burn out, you can't carry on. Whereas the tortoise just keeps taking steady movements, simple, steady movements, keep taking the next step forward, gently. And just like that, things change. Just like that, you're at the end, you're at the finish line. And it may seem slow, but because you have taken the time to rebuild your foundation, you are not easily swayed. You are not like one of those people that rush, I'm going to do everything. And they have speaking about how they're going to change the world and everything. And then they run out of steam and fall to the side somewhere. And nobody hears from them ever again. Basically, that is not what I want for any of my clients. So even if you came directly into affluence, which is the invitation, or which is open to you right now, we would still make sure that, yes, there are certain daily musts that I will ask you to do, but we will never do anything more than you are capable of doing right now. Because the idea is not to burn you out. The idea is to build a business that is capable of making 6 figures by this time next year. And if we do it, even if we do it slowly, steadily, you will get there. Rather than rush, promising that you're going to get it in 3 seconds, and then you quit because it's all too hard and it's too much. And trying to move away from thinking in a certain way, and then suddenly trying to think in a whole new way and trying to do everything in a whole new way. And oh my God, I need to do it right now. Yeah, that's how people quit. Or that's how people go off on random tangents and never get anywhere. And then they tell themselves, I tried everything and nothing worked for me. No, you didn't stay consistent with anything. So that is why I've designed the Deliberate Millionaire Path to Peace and Plenty in that way. You start with evolution, there's opulence. I mean, you can join any of these stages however you want. In affluence, you will still be taking part in evolution, and after we've done the things that we're doing in affluence, you can even do the boot camps in opulence. So You don't have to do it in the way I'm describing it, but I want you to understand why these things exist in the way that they do, because you do need a foundation. Because the strategies that I spoke about yesterday, if you do not have the stuff I spoke about in day one, which is the foundation, then it doesn't matter how many strategies I give you. This is why people fail, because it's not that the things you need to do to grow a business are hard. It's that your emotional intelligence is not at the place where it needs to be for you to stay the course through what will sometimes feel incredibly difficult emotionally, not physically, not practically. It is emotionally, mentally. If you are not mentally solid, being in business is so different from being an employee. I cannot, until you get on this journey, you won't even understand what I'm saying. And that's why, getting support is critical, because sometimes you kind of get caught up in thinking that there's something wrong with you, but it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that you are trying to live a different life from what you've been programmed to live. And so you're trying to build a business. Yes, there will be tension. And if you're rushing, I'm trying to do everything, all the people said that they made, 1 million in 2 months or 2 weeks or whatever. And you're trying to do that when you've never been in business before, you won't be able to, because you can't, even if you did make the money, you wouldn't be able to sustain it, because your resilience hasn't built up. You need time to build that stuff up. I know it's not necessarily what people want to hear, but it's the truth. This is why people fail, because it takes some doing to stand your ground when your nervous system is on high alert. Basically, your nervous system is like run. And I'm telling you to hold on. You can do this. But if you don't have somebody saying that to you, you'll think there's something wrong with you. You'll think that you're doing everything wrong. You'll quit. I hope you hear me. And be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself, and recognize that when you're starting a business, it's like you're going into a whole different country. You're going to a whole new world. If you've never done it before, it's a whole new world. And for most people, you haven't done it before. Be patient with yourself. It is nothing you can't do. It's just, it takes a lot of emotional strength, mental resilience, mental toughness to hold on when everything inside of you is telling you to run. But then you are misreading that to mean there's something wrong with you, or that you're not cut out for it, or maybe the divine doesn't want you to be in business, blah, 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 blah. This is why I really strongly urge you not to try and do this business thing alone. Come into affluence, come work with me, because you don't always know that this is happening. You just read it as, maybe I'm not cut out to do it. Maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I'm getting everything wrong. Maybe I'm just not good enough. When actually it has nothing to do with any of that. You're just simply stretching. But it doesn't feel like just stretching when you're going through it. It feels like you're going through hell. But you know what? Even if you are going through hell, you can keep moving forward. Anyway, let's get into today's stuff. Okay. Today's stuff, we are talking today about how to get your message out and get more paying customers, clients, recruits into your business. There is a need for spiritual people to stop hiding your light and actually start shining your light boldly. We should know more than anybody else on the planet knows that we are backed by the universe. We are backed by the divine. We are not alone in this. So we don't need to be afraid. Rise up. Shine your freaking light. You are meant to be a beacon of love and light on the planet, okay? That's why you have that vision inside of you. Please stop hiding. Take these things that I teach you, use them, get your message out there, call your people in. They are waiting for you to rise up with confidence and stop hiding. Stop pretending that you don't know that you're called to do this thing. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Live, my loves. Okay, so let's carry on our conversation here. How, now that you've got your marketing funnel up and running, which of course you did, yes, right? Our next thing is, I want you to understand this. Everybody starts at zero. Nobody, well, hardly anyone starts with an audience already. You start at zero. So you're not alone in starting at the place where nobody's listening to you. Nobody knows what you're doing. Nobody understands what you're about. Everybody starts there. Don't allow that to sway you. 3 things I want you to remember. Communicate, capture, close. 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 I want you to repeat those to yourself. Do not go to bed without doing the communicating, the capturing, and the closing. And I'm going to explain what these things mean. Communicate, capture, close. Communicate ultimately is you starting to share what is in your heart to the people on the internet. Okay, you're building an online business. We are blessed to have social media where people congregate anyway. So from your house, on your phone, you can start to congregate with people and share your heart, share about, share your, it depends on what your business is. But even, in some ways, it doesn't even matter what your business is, because you share your heart. Out of the people that are interested in what you have to say, some of those people are going to be interested in whatever it is that you're selling. Okay. Now, as I talked about yesterday, you're going to have a lead magnet that is going to be specific to your product or your service or whatever. That your lead magnet is going to be specific to that. So the people coming onto your email list will be a bit more targeted than the people you're speaking to on the internet generally. But on the internet generally, in order to get people to look at your free giveaway, you're going to start sharing, because to me, marketing is a form for us as spiritual people, particularly you guys that feel, if you're anything like me, and a lot of you are, you do feel like there's a message inside of you that the world needs to hear. Okay, usually it's something along the lines of helping people to live to the best of their potential. It's something along those lines, or deepen their connection to the divine and deepen their connection to source, and learning how to live at a higher level of energy, and whatever your message is, it's going to be something around that kind of thing. You start sharing it in the way that you would, because you've been through certain stories, you've been through certain events, certain circumstances. The way you will say something, even if it is exactly the same as what I'm saying, you will say it differently from what I'm saying, the way I'm saying it, okay? And so you start to share your thoughts in form of blogs or social media posts or quote images or videos or whatever. You start to share your ideas, and then you invite people to sign up for your free giveaway. So you can, to begin with, because usually when people start in business, when I'm working with clients, the first thing, and even I did this, when you start, you're a bit stilted. You're a bit, oh my God, does anybody want to hear what I have to say? You're not really sure. Well, use ChatGPT to begin with, okay? Use ChatGPT to come up with some ideas on what you can talk about. So yesterday we talked about who is your person. You sat down with the divine, or you did some research and came up with an idea of who your person is, who the person is that you would like to help. Now, go on to ChatGPT, type out your description of your person, and ask ChatGPT, what are the problems does it think this person is going to have? Or what kind of problems does this person want to solve? What pain points are they going through that you can alleviate with your product? And ask it to come up with 30, 60 ideas, okay? And then you, every day, pick at least one of those ideas and write something about it. Create a video about it. Create a quote image about it. Do something with it. Use your words. I would say use your words. Now, some people will use ChatGPT to create the content as well. I personally think, if you're going to build a community around you of people who get you, they need to actually hear from you. So yes, use ChatGPT to prompt you, but I wouldn't use it to do everything. Because all of us in this community, we are people with words, okay? If it was just you and your friend in a coffee shop and your friend was going through some kind of hard time and she was asking for your advice, or he was asking for your advice, you would have a lot of words to give them. And those are the exact same words I want you to start using to start communicating with people on the internet. As if it's just you and somebody else you and one other person in a coffee shop, and you're helping them solve their needs. So you get your list from ChatGPT of 30 to 60 either problems that people are facing, or pain points that they have, or challenges that they have. It could be around your topic, but it doesn't have to be, because ultimately at the end, you're going to say, this is what I'm doing at the moment. Would you like my free giveaway? Basically. And then the people that are interested in your free giveaway will say yes, and they sign up and they come into your mailing list. But for the content, it's share your heart. Okay, that's my way. It's to share your heart. That's the way I do it. Share my heart. So if you look through my content, sometimes I'm talking about relationships. Sometimes I'm talking about your health. Sometimes I'm talking about connection to the divine. Sometimes I'm talking about business. But I'm talking about these things because the person I want to help, I have someone in my mind called Susan and Aaron. They are people with problems across the whole spectrum of their life. And so I talk about specific things that are of interest to me, like overgiving. That is a particular bugbear for people in my community. So I talk a lot about that, where the people have put themselves last and put everybody else first. I talk about religion sometimes because I've definitely come from a very stifled religious background, which now I've found so much freedom from. So I like to talk about it and help other people find freedom there too. And I also know that if they're going to build successful businesses, you need to be free. You need to be free. And if you're busy worrying about what people are going to think of you because you're not sounding Christian enough or whatever, then you won't allow yourself to do what is necessary to build a business, which is never anything horrible, but it depends on your programming, right? If you've been programmed to believe that good things are bad things, then you're in trouble, man. And some of you have been hearing that will be like, oh my God, no, bad things are bad things and good things are good things, and all of that stuff. So all of that's programming as well. So that's part of the work, is shifting some of those ideas. So anyway, I talk about all kinds of things, and then I bring it back down to whatever my free giveaway is at that time. That is what you can do. So you get a list, as I said, of 30 to 60 items. And then every day, in fact, whether you start with 30, that way you have something for every single day of the month. And I know one of the things I like to get my clients to do when if you're just getting started in business, and I did this too, and I still do this from time to time, whereas I just do for a 30 to 60 day period, I do one video a day. And I would say to clients to do that too, but I wouldn't always just stop there. I personally didn't stop there. I did more than just one video a day. However, I just want people to get into the habit of creating at least one piece of content every single day. That is my goal to start with when it comes to my clients. And I would say that to you too. So every day, create one video, because that video that you create for the 30 days, you can then, when the next 30 days begins in the next month, you could then go back to day one and reuse it. Personally, I like to wait like 3 months before I start reusing things. So I would do like 90 days of content and then go back and start reusing things. But however, whatever, do you know what? To begin with, I just want you to begin. One piece of content every single day based on one topic that you've picked out from your list that you created in ChatGPT, or create a list yourself, one way or the other. You know, before there was ChatGPT, I had to tell clients to do it themselves, come up with a list themselves. Now, thank God for ChatGPT. It's, you know, in 1 minute, you can have your list of 60. Just whereas before, it could take my clients a week or a month sometimes to come up with a list of 30 things or 60 things that they can talk about. But you can do some research as well and just see what are the people in your industry, what are they reading, what are they interested in, looking at the reviews, what kind of things do people talk about, what kind of things do they say? And that can help you then create content that will be of interest to your people. The only way you're going to find out what's of interest to your people, of course, is by actually speaking to people. But to start with, you just start with what you know. Because usually, not always, but your customer, your client is maybe just an earlier version of yourself. The chances are you're selling something that you would have bought at an earlier stage in your life, okay? So become that earlier version of yourself and think, what problems did you need to know the answer to? And then start creating content around that. So just one piece of content a day at least. Guys, a few years ago, I was saying to clients, do 5 to 8 pieces of content every single day. So one piece of content, because I just realized that people were getting a little bit burnt out. We're trying before they realize that actually you do have lots of words. You are capable of doing 5 to 8 every single day. But if I start you on 5 to 8, I'm going to scare you silly. So let's start with 1, and we can start to build up when necessary, if necessary. Because if you do what I teach you to do, which is use both advertising as well as organic means, you won't necessarily need that much content. Okay. I did it that way. I did both. I've always done both adverts and just free content, but that's always been my way. And that's kind of accelerated things. But sometimes people are coming into business and you don't really have that much yet in terms of money to invest in ads. And also you may not feel clear on what it is that you're putting out there. Now, I didn't mind because to me, it sped everything up. So as in because I was spending money on advertising, it meant that I had to get really serious about what is it that I'm offering people and get clearer and clearer and clearer about it, because my money was being spent or invested. So I needed to make sure that I'm getting that money back. However you choose to do it, we're going to talk about that more. But for now, let's just start with communicate, which is every single day, take one topic from your list of 30 or 60 and create a video around it. Create maybe a written post around it, and it can be about the exact same thing. It is the exact same topic, isn't it, really? So like I used to write blogs every single day, and then I would record myself reading that blog out, and that would become 2 pieces of content, just like that. And then I put it in different places. These days, I like to say to people, find one platform and really go deep with it. It doesn't mean you're going to stay there forever, but at least to begin with, I want you to get comfortable with something and get comfortable with consistency as well. So whether it's writing that blogs, now when I started, the blogs were more of a big deal. I know there are still some really active blogs out there that take on what's it called, external writers. So you could get in front of somebody else's audience by writing a blog on somebody else's blog. Or you can use things like Medium. If you're a writer, if you're somebody that likes to use your words in written form, then something like Medium, Facebook allows you to write really long posts. Medium allows you to write really long posts. It's Instagram, the caption is only 2,200 characters, which if you're a person with words, actually it's not as much as you would like. I definitely find it to be annoying when it cuts me off before I'm ready for it to be cut off. I prefer Facebook and Medium when it comes to posts because I do have a lot of words. Some of you all know that my blog posts some of them can be quite long, and that's okay. Because the people I want to serve are generally going to be readers. Okay, sometimes they'll watch my videos as well, which can also sometimes be long. So, but for the most part, they're going to be a bit like me. I don't really like to spend lots of time watching videos. I'd rather read actually, because I can scan through something really quickly. Whereas a video, which these days actually you can 2x times everything, which any videos or anything I watch, I do 2x it, so I can get through it as quickly as possible. And I always suggest other people do too. Even my videos, it sounds even better. It sounds even more excited when I'm 2x. So yeah, 2x everything. Anyway, so yeah, blogs, social media posts, quote images, videos, live streams, go into groups where you think your people are likely to be hanging out and put your posts in there. Start actually commenting on other people's content and showing yourself up as an expert. So go in and answer questions, just ultimately be everywhere doing something. That's how you start communicating. That's how people get to know that you are there. You can even do offline speaking engagements. That's another way of you getting in front of somebody else's audience and calling them into yours. So start communicating every day, start communicating. The next thing you want to do, well, before we go into the next thing, just please take the limits off. Stop worrying so much what anybody else is thinking about you. That held me back for so long because I was so worried about what people think of me on the net. So I didn't want to share on my personal profile and anything. And finally I decided, you know what, none of these people are paying my bills. So you know what? And let them think what they want to think. I am going to communicate with no holds barred, no holds on, whatever. Ultimately, communicate everywhere. Yeah. Next thing is capture people. So I've already kind of mentioned this, but you start communicating. So you're picking a topic that you're going to address every single day, and then at the end of that thing, whatever you've written, or whether it's a video, you invite people to get your free giveaway. Okay, you invite people to get your free giveaway, or you can go straight to inviting them to get on the phone with you if you're a service provider. Whatever you do, invite people to the next step. Preferably get them onto your mailing list, particularly if you're reaching them on social media. Get them onto your email list because that email list is yours. Social media is not yours. And I know some people say, "Oh, but you can build it." Yeah, I get it. You can build a business on social media if you're that way inclined. But then what happens if the platform that you are using, people stop using? Then what? What happened to MySpace? It all just disappeared. And I know that was years and years and years ago now. And some of the platforms that have been around are probably going to be around for a while yet. I would still strongly urge you to have an email list. Okay, I would still strongly urge you to have an email list because that is yours. That list is yours. Whereas on social media, it's not actually yours. Whilst the social media carries on, then yeah, great. You can build a very successful business on a social media platform without even leaving the platform if you want to. But I would not suggest that, because what would happen if it did close down? Suddenly, everything you thought was solid is gone in a second, basically. Or if for whatever reason Facebook decides to close your account just because, then what? Gone, just like that. So and it has happened to people. It can be so frustrating. So please capture people onto your email list. And as I said, I like to use both advertising and free content. So the free content that you're putting out there, you're inviting people to sign up for your free giveaway. But then also you can start an advert inviting people to sign up for your free giveaway. So this is an example of two of my ads that I used to use. I don't use these particular ones anymore, just so you have an idea. That you can either do a short form ad here where you're just telling people exactly what you get, or you can do a bit of a story. Either of them can work. I've used either. These days I use really short adverts. In fact, it would be more of this size without the hashtags and everything. That's what I use right now to do my advertising for a book that I'm offering, which is Remove the Blocks. But as I said, I also used to do these ones, and I get really, really good conversion rates in terms of people wanting to get the stuff that I'm offering. So those are adverts. And I when I'm starting, I do my advertising on Facebook. I start with $2 ads, see which one works, and then start to increase the spend based every day I increase it by a quarter, every day I increase it by a quarter, every day I increase it by a quarter, or depending on which one is working. So I do a whole lot of them and then start switching off the ones that are not getting as good results, and until I'm left with one that is getting really great results, and I've increased the budget on that up to whatever I want to spend each day. Okay, so that's how I do my ads, and that's how I teach my clients to do ads as well. And most of my ads, generally tend to go directly to signing up for the lead magnet. Sometimes I also advertise, and because something I do on Instagram is that I would advertise a post that seems to be getting good organic reach, and then I would go in and start, or get somebody, one of my team members, to go in and invite people to get a copy of my free giveaway. Okay, because if they showed interest in the post, then they might be interested in the actual free giveaway. So that's how I can do that on Instagram as well, to keep increasing my email list, which is my audience ultimately. So what I'm trying to do is grow an audience of people on my emails that have interest in what I am offering. So that is the capture part of what we do to grow business. And then after that, and please understand, there's no magic formula to advertising. You ultimately just test and tweak until you find something that works for you. That's it. So you're telling the world with your free content, and you're also promoting everything. You're doing the promotion for your lead magnet and your free content as well. It's telling people who you are, and also inviting them to get the free giveaway as well. Okay, so this is you capturing people into your email list. Every day, please make sure you're building your email list. Every day, build your social media platforms as well. Ultimately, every day you want more and more people to know that you exist, to know how you can help them. Okay, or to know, you want to keep connecting with people who might be interested in what you have to offer, and then you're inviting them onto your mailing list with your free giveaway. And then the next thing to do is close. As I said, communicate, capture, close. Communicate, capture, close. So I've talked about communicate, I've talked about capturing, now we're talking about closing. Closing is ultimately just inviting people to purchase from you. You can't force anybody to purchase from you. The only thing you have control over is whether you ask them. So don't make any judgments as to how much the money they have or don't have or any of that stuff. Yours is simply to invite every single day. Invite people every single day. Now you can do it by actually reaching out to people and inviting them every single day. You can do it via email. This is why I get people onto my email list, because I know that just because somebody saw me on Facebook doesn't mean they were ready to buy from me immediately. But if they come onto my mailing list, I can continue to share my heart. Some people will like what I'm sharing, and some people will not like what I'm sharing. Those that don't like what I'm sharing will unsubscribe. Those that like what I'm sharing, some of them will just like what I'm sharing, and that'll be it, and they'll never do anything beyond that. Other people will like what I'm sharing and also want to come and work with me more deeply. And so I keep inviting that group of people to take the step to come and work with me more deeply. So I use my emails. I can create automated email funnels if I want to, but for the most part, I enjoy creating new emails each day. So I create new emails and I send them out and I invite people to come and work with me. And that's it. I do that every single day. Communicate, capture, close. Communicate, capture, close. Communicate, capture, close every single day. I do not go to bed without communicating, capturing, and closing. I do not go to bed without making sure that my mailing list has grown in some way. I do not go to bed without making sure that that I have sent out emails every single day, that I've put posts out every single day. Communicate, capture, close. That is all you need to do and stay doing, as well as staying mentally tough, because there are going to be times when it feels as if nothing is changing. But if you will stay consistent, just testing and tweaking to see what gets better responses, but don't get emotional about just what's happening. Just try to be as clear as possible. What response am I getting for this thing? Did it result in sales? What did result in sales? What am I doing right? What can I do more of? That's because just continually asking yourself, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? It doesn't help you. Okay. Do you actually want to know what you're doing wrong? No, you don't. What you really want to know is, what am I doing right that gets me sales? Okay. So that's what you need to be asking yourself, not what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? Okay. Take the limits off, guys. Keep asking the divine for new ways for you to promote your business, promote your products, your services, all of that. But please, at the same time, don't keep jumping all over the place. Find a strategy and stick with that strategy until it works. Stop changing everything all the time. It's because it just means that you're starting from scratch all the time. And it's time consuming and time wasting. And I know it's easy to do that because you tell yourself that you're just trying to see what will work for you, because you've bought into this concept that it's the moment you do anything, you're supposed to make sales immediately. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it's just simply that you haven't got in front of enough people, because maybe out of 1,000 people you see, only one of them is going to buy from you. But if you have the expectation that out of 1,000 people, 1,000 people are going to buy from you, you are going to start telling yourself a story that nobody wants what you have, when actually you have had somebody buy from you, but you thought that there was supposed to be more than somebody. And when really what you need to do is concentrate on getting in front of more people, because if you know only one person is going to buy out of every 1,000, then you better start reaching a heck of a lot more thousands of people, rather than worrying about whether anybody likes you or doesn't like you. It has nothing to do with that. It's just simply a numbers game in some ways. Okay? Keep sharing yourself, keep communicating, keep capturing, keep closing. You will keep making more and more and more and more sales. Do not lose heart. And that's it. That literally is how you build a business. That is literally how you build a business. Now, this is the thing, and I keep saying this to you guys. Hopefully you start to understand, especially if you've been trying to do it for a while and it hasn't quite worked for you. What you need is support. That is what is missing in your life right now. It's because you're trying to do it on your own, and you're getting caught up in your sad stories of what is possible and or what you're doing or what you're not doing, whether you're doing it right, whether you're not doing it right, blah, 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 blah. Because you're getting caught up in your sad stories, you are you're thinking that you're taking yourself off course. That's the thing. You're taking yourself off course. And what I found, particularly in the earlier parts of my business, where I kept acting from a place of desperation, desperate to see it work, desperate to prove myself, desperate to prove that my business was worthwhile. And then I do stupid things based on that desperation, which will then, I'm doing it hoping that it will speed things up. But what it always did was slow everything down. And then some stop, because I'll take myself off my purpose path and then have to come back to my purpose path and start again. And that just wasted time. So instead of doing that, working with coaches, working in a mastermind. Whenever I'm working in a mastermind or working with coaches, that's when my things generally tend to accelerate. Why? Because they don't allow me to go off course. So that is why I invite you to come and work with me with affluence, because I will see when you're doing these things to yourself. I will see when you are taking yourself off course instead of allowing yourself to prosper, allow your business to grow. So come and work with me in affluence. Not because I don't promise people that you're going to make money like in 3 seconds. I say, yeah, 6 figures in a year, but I do mean a year. Maybe it'll take you less than a year, maybe, but I want you to commit to a year, because this whole rush, how many years have gone by that you're still waiting? You're still waiting to succeed. And you were rushing, trying this, trying that, trying the other. I'm going to do this. When somebody told you, listen, let's work together for a year, you thought, oh, that's too long. Yeah, and the other person is telling me I can do something in a week. And then another year went by, and then another year went by, and another year went by, and you're still waiting. I can't tell you the number of people who have been in my world who haven't accomplished the things that they wanted to, because they were chasing after daydreams, chasing after fantasies, and never quite allowed themselves to do anything consistently. And the problem is, when you're doing this, you don't realize you're doing it, which is why, again, you want to work with a coach, because the coach will help you see when you are taking yourself off path and making it incredibly difficult for yourself to prosper. So yes, I do say to you, listen, come and read through this page all about this mastermind, okay? You will know if it is right for you. You will know if it is right for you. Ultimately, my goal when I'm working with people in this mastermind is to support you in thriving, prospering, making at least 6 figures within 12 months whilst living in your purpose. So we will define what your business it is that you would like to be in, that will actually make you feel fulfilled, not just make you lots of money. Okay. And then we will build that business slowly, steadily, surely. I'll help you come up with a strategy that feels good for you to implement every single day. We will not do it in a rush. I'm sorry, but I won't do it in a rush. I'll go as fast as is safe for you to go. Let's put it that way. Because if we go too fast and you get petrified, you'll stop altogether, and then you'll quit, and then you'll start blaming me probably. That you tried everything and it didn't work for you. It's not true. You didn't try everything. What we want to do is steady, be steady. Build a strategy around who you are as a person. You don't have to do every single thing you see everybody else doing. We can find a way of marketing you in a way that feels good to you. And that's my work. That's the work I do with clients, is help you find a way that feels good to you. Yeah, there's going to be fear. Yes, there's going to be emotional tension. I say this all the time. I'm not going to pull you out of the emotional tension. There's no way for me to do so if you're going to become the person that actually carries a successful business, because I don't want you to be a fly by night kind of thing. I want you to be Instead, I don't want you to have just one miracle and then not be able to maintain it. No, we want you to grow into being that successful 6-figure spiritual business owner. And that's what the Affluence Mastermind will do for you. We will twice monthly get on the phone live and have live call where I'll answer any of your questions, anything, whatever is necessary will be answered in those calls. You'll have access to me also within the Deliberate Millionaire gathering. So even in between the fortnightly calls, you will be able to reach out to me in the group as well, so that I can come in and support you and help you move forward. And help you continue to move forward. You'll also get access to the Deliberate Millionaire Library. You're the only people that get access to this as a member of Affluence, where you'll either, depending on what your business is, if you are a service provider, then you'll go through the 6-figure spiritual business accelerator. If you are a product person, then you'll probably go through the Purpose-Driven Profits mastermind, what's it called, program that I created, so that ultimately it's kind of the same, but for service providers, there's a clear strategy that I specifically go through in the 6-figure spiritual business accelerator. But then for everybody else, there is a different, it's not completely different, but you'll go through a different program ultimately. Okay, because the accelerator talks mostly about coaches and healers and teachers, all that. Okay, but you'll also get access to all of my other programs that I created over the years, such as the 5 C's for online business profit, the Spiritual Entrepreneur, 5K online sales machine, there's Passion into Profits, there's Spirit Sex Success, there's Messenger of Light, there's Confident Creative Money Maker, and there's other ones like the Prosperous Blessed Entrepreneur, the Share Your Voice workshop, there's the Build Your List now, and there's a Business Hero Bootcamp. You'll get access to these programs that you can dip into, pick out what you need, and all of that stuff. You'll get access to all of that. You will also get access to my Abundance Library. Again, this is more the leadership and mindset programs that I've created over the years. As I was learning, I was creating programs as I went along and selling them. But then the Divine invited me to put them all into a library. So there's about 100, 150 of those programs in a library that you get access to as well as one of my clients. Okay, so you get access to all of that. And I always say to people, listen to something for about 20 minutes a day, because we want to change your way of thinking. Because your current way of thinking has got you here, but you want to go beyond that. So, hey, we need to re-immerse you in something different altogether so that you are growing and becoming more. Okay, and then after the first 2 to 3 months, you will also take part in the Money Freedom Bootcamp, because by the first 2 to 3 months, my focus is getting your business built out. Okay, I want you to have a business that is capable of making you 6 figures. As long as you allow me and you do what I ask you to do, we can do that in 3 months. Okay, we can do it in a lot less than that, but it generally takes, if you've never done it before, it can take 3 months or more, truth be told. For some clients, it takes more, and that's okay, because as I said, I'm not here trying to speed you somewhere, because I know that if we go slowly, steadily, things can change in an instant. Once I've built the solid toughness, the mental toughness, the emotional resilience within you, and I suppose it's also an energetic thing. You've opened up to the divine, you're allowing love to flow through you. It'll be easier for you to manifest money through a business once you've done that. But then we'll also continue the inner work whilst continuing to do the simple strategy that we've distilled out for you over the first 2-3 months. You'll do the Money Freedom Bootcamp for month 4 and 5. 4, 5, and 6, sorry, because it's a 3-month program here. And it will really completely change your money mindset. Okay, so it goes into all different areas around money and the way people think around money and how they act around money. And for 90 days, I think it's 11 weeks. So it's 11 weeks, actually, 11 weeks, 55 audios and some videos possibly that really address all the various different flawed beliefs you have about money. We handle it, okay, so that you're not getting in your own way when it comes to building a business. And then we'll also go into the Regain Unshakable Self-Confidence Bootcamp as well, where we're getting you back to feeling really confident about everything, okay? So this Affluence Mastermind, you're going through these programs, you're getting the daily divine downloads as well. You have access to me on the calls as well as in the gathering. The goal, again, is to immerse you in a different way of thinking, a different way of being, and also to give you a whole blanket of support so that you are able to grow your business with as much ease as is possible. The truth is, if you're building a business for the first time, there's going to be some discomfort. There's no doubt about that, okay? Come and read the page, because there's other stuff that comes in with Affluence. Ultimately, I do want you to know I'm holding nothing back, because I really do want to see a world where spiritual people are leading. Okay, the world needs more spiritual people. It really does. And I want us to just get over our fears and our doubts and all of that stuff, and just answer the call on your life. Answer the call on your life and get out there and start changing people's lives, because that is what you're meant to be doing with your life. And you want to do it as well. So let's stop with the hiding, and let's stop trying to do all this stuff on our own, because if you could have done it on your own, you already would have. You want to be in business. At least if you're listening to me, that's why you're listening to me, right? You want to be in business. And you want to be in a successful business, not just business for the sake of business. So work with me. Let's get this thing going. Two heads are always better than one anyway. And definitely, because I've done this, I can see where you might be sabotaging yourself, and I can help you distill out a strategy, and then a strategy that works for you, that feels good to you, and then hold you to it. Hold you to it so you don't just keep doing the whole shiny object craziness that gets you nowhere. It's time. It's time. It's time. We're coming to the end of another freaking year. Are you where you wanted to be, or are you frustrated, wondering why you didn't just do what you promised yourself you would do in January? Come on. Start now. Start now. I know you can start telling yourself, oh, it's the end of the year. Wait until. Don't stop saying such silly things. Enough waiting. How many more 12-month periods need to go by before you finally surrender completely to the calling on your life? It's time. Let's build that business you've been thinking and dreaming about, and let's actually make it a reality. Are you ready? I hope so. Okay, on that note, guys, this is bringing our three days to a hold. The invitation is out. Come and work with me in affluence. If you're really wise, buy for the whole year, because you save an incredible amount of money by buying for the year. And you also get a 90-minute session, or is it 2-hour session with me, where we really sit down together. Well, if you're in England, you can come and sit down with me, or we can do it over the phone, where we hash out your whole business for that 2 hours and really get clear on who your ideal client is, what strategy to use to reach them, and all of that stuff, and really get clear on your purpose, everything. We get clear on everything. Okay, in that 2-hour period, you come away from there knowing very clearly what offer you're making, who you're making it to, how to reach them, what is the strategy, all of that stuff. So you hit the ground running. Okay, you hit the ground running, and then yes, you go through the programs and all of that, and you're coming onto the phone with me every 2 weeks, and all of that, ultimately just to support you in getting where you want to go. As long as you come play with me, I will play with you well. Let's put it that way. That sounds weird, doesn't it? Whichever way, ultimately, I want to see more spiritual people making the money that they're meant to be making, living that free, fulfilled, financially abundant, love-drenched life. So if you are that person who is ready to do that, then reach out to me on Instagram, send me a message with the word affluence, and I'll get the link to you. Or go to rosemarynonniknight.com/affluence. If you're anywhere else, the link is right around this video right now. Until the next time, my loves, it's been a pleasure sharing all of this with you. Yes, I look forward to working with you to actually make your business dream a reality. This time next year, you could be making 6 figures if you will actually make a decision to do so. I can help you. Let's go. Until the next time, my loves, it's been a pleasure. Be that beacon of love and light that you're meant to be. Go forth and prosper, my love. Bye.